Fuck off! No way!
But I'm seeing movement in the woods. I can't tell what it is. It's really big.
On July 2nd, 2023, a solo camper from Ireland set up his tent for a peaceful night in the Galtee Mountains. After dinner and sunset, he settled into his tent, ready to sleep. But around 10 p.m., things took a strange turn.
That's it. I'm gonna get some sleep and I'll see you in the morning. Good night. I know I'm not in focus, but I can hear two men talking. I have no idea what they're doing. Do I go out? I have no idea. I don't know if I should go out or not.
Moments later, the voices faded, and an eerie silence fell over the mountain. Then he spotted them, two men making their way down the slope.
There's two men coming down the mountain. There's no way they haven't seen the tent, because when I was coming down, all the guy lines and everything were just lit up because they're all reflective. So they've definitely seen the tent. And obviously I had my lights on inside here. It was only when I heard them talking that I shut everything off. So hopefully they just carry on and finish their night hike or whatever they're doing.
His tent was impossible to miss. The reflective guy lines and the glow of his lantern made it stand out in the darkness. He quickly killed the lights, hoping they'd just pass by on a late-night hike. Not daring to unzip the tent, he stayed completely still. Eventually, he saw the men again, this time moving along a steep, off-trail ridge in total darkness. He never figured out what they were doing, but the encounter left him uneasy. He made it through the night unharmed, yet one question still lingers. What were those men really doing in the mountains at that hour? September 23rd, 2020, filmmaker Master Hughes was deep in a remote mountain forest, miles away from civilization. The woods were silent, the trees thick, when he suddenly spotted movement in the distance. A dark figure slipping between the trees.
I've got my little light jacket on, but I'm seeing movement in the woods. I can't tell what it is. It's really big, and it appears to be very dark in color. We're going to try to ease up there to it and see if we can get a picture.
The next day, Hughes returned to the same trail, and what he found was chilling.
And we're up here in the mountains shooting a film. And yesterday we were coming up this trail, and I heard it, and couldn't see anything. But as we crossed over the next hump in this trail, this is what we found.
Pressed into the dirt, just beyond a ridge, was a fresh bear print.
Now, for those of you to know, that is a bear print. And so apparently he was on the trail just above us and we couldn't see him because of the humps in the trail and everything, these breaks. So anyway, that's some of the risk you take when you're out in the middle of nowhere shooting a nature video or some other type of film out in the middle of nowhere. You got to be careful.
It was a sobering reminder of the risk that comes with venturing into the wilderness. Out there, silence can be deceiving, and danger can be only a few steps away without you even realizing it. That bear had been dangerously close the entire time. On July 27th, 2025, Adam and Ryan from Paranormal Essex set out to capture daytime footage inside a historic World War I fort in Essex, a place long whispered to be guarded by the restless spirit of a soldier. As Adam ducked behind a wall to prank Ryan, the silence of the tunnels was broken by the crunch of dry leaves under heavy footsteps. Then came another set. The steps stopped directly beside him, but no one was there. Confused, Adam looked up only to spot Ryan far off in the distance, nowhere near the entrance. With leaves carpeting the ground, no one could move without being heard.
Hooray! Where'd he go? What? Ryan? Ryan? Fuck off! No way! Where was you? No fucking way. I'll just come over the hedge of that. Come down, tried to scare ya. Could hear footsteps, bruv, I swear to God, yeah? And I thought it was you walking towards me, yeah? You watching me? Why the fuck am I so zoomed in? Yeah? What? I heard footsteps of you walking towards me. I thought it was you. I jumped out, went, bah! And you weren't there.
The chilling question lingered in their minds. Had they just crossed paths with a soldier who still protects the fort from something darker? On August 5th, 2025, Andrew Clifton was out for a quiet walk with his dog in Malvern Hills, Western England, casually filming in slow motion on his phone. "Freddy, steady," he muttered as his pup trotted along. But later, as he replayed the footage, something strange caught his eye. A mysterious object streaking across the frame. It moved far too fast to be pinned down, and its unusual height and flight path ruled out simple explanations like an arrow. To this day, its origin remains a mystery. No one can explain what Andrew captured. While hiking deep into the woods, something strange appeared nailed to a tree, and it instantly gave chills. It wasn't a warning sign, or a map, or even some random carving. Instead, it was a piece of cardboard, written in thick black marker, with a message that felt more like a desperate cry for help. It read, "Why did you steal my shoes? Now I have no shoes, and now my feet hurt and bleed. I am poor. Leave money. I watches you." At first, it almost sounded like a joke, but the more the word sank in, the scarier it became. Imagine being miles into the forest, surrounded by silence, and stumbling across a note like this. Someone out there claimed their shoes were stolen, their feet were bleeding, and, most chilling of all, they were watching. The handwriting was uneven, almost frantic, as if the writer was angry, scared, or maybe both. Some hikers would probably laugh it off and keep moving, but others might feel that icy thought creep in. What if the person really is hiding out here, waiting for someone to pass by? So now the real question is, if you were hiking and found a sign like this, would you keep going deeper into the trail, or would you turn back before whoever wrote it showed up? A Reddit user shared a chilling encounter after wandering down a secluded trail. At first glance, he froze. On the ground ahead was a shape that looked disturbingly like a body. There was no odor, but the outline was so human, it sent a rush of dread through him. Summoning the courage to get closer, he discovered it wasn't a corpse at all, but an abandoned camp. The strange part? It wasn't the usual clutter of tarps and clothing, only children's blankets and stuffed animals scattered around. One blanket was even tightly wrapped around several toys, almost as if someone had tucked them in. That's when he noticed a truck parked nearby, and suddenly the whole setup felt too intentional to dismiss. Even knowing it wasn't a body, the eerie scene stuck with him long after. Alone in the depths of a remote forest, a camper was jolted awake in the dead of night by unsettling noises cutting through the silence. At first, he brushed it off as some wild animal passing nearby, but the sounds didn't fade. They grew louder, closer, and seemed to echo from every direction. With the forest swallowed in pitch-black darkness and no soul for miles, an unnerving truth settled in. He was utterly alone. He stayed inside his tent until sunrise, restless and wide awake. To this day, whatever stalked the forest that night remains a chilling mystery. While hiking deep in the woods, one Reddit user stumbled across something chilling on the side of a tree. At first glance, it looked like the aftermath of a giant predator's attack, and the sight alone was enough to send shivers down his spine. But when he shared the discovery online, the explanation turned out to be far less monstrous, yet still undeniably eerie. According to experts, raptors can sometimes die suddenly, their powerful tendons locking their claws in place as if frozen in time. In this case, the rest of the bird had already been scavenged, leaving only its legs clinging tightly to the trunk. The result? A haunting reminder of nature's brutal reality. A Reddit user was out for a casual walk with their partner when they snapped a quick picture to show just how far behind they were. At first glance, nothing seemed strange, just an ordinary shot. But when they looked closer later, something chilling stood out. In the photo, a figure appears ahead of them on the path. The odd part? The partner swears no one was there, and the user doesn't remember seeing a soul either. The way the light reflects off its hair and arm makes it look completely solid, undeniably real. Yet at the time, the path was empty. To this day, they have no explanation for who or what was captured in that frame. A hiker strolling down a quiet trail thought he'd struck gold. A rare shot of a fox and a deer sharing the same frame. But when he looked closer, he realized something far stranger had slipped into the background. Faint and distant, a tall, hairy figure stood among the trees. It didn't look quite human. Yet it wasn't clearly anything else either. Too far away to confirm, the eerie sight left the photo shrouded in mystery. While hiking through a rocky trail with another person's son, something unexpected appeared wedged between the stones, and it stopped everyone cold. At first, it just looked like a pale, round rock. But as another person's son leaned closer, the truth revealed itself. It wasn't a rock at all. It was a skull. The way it sat between the boulders made it feel even creepier, like it had been deliberately placed there, hidden away where only the brave, or the unlucky, might find it. The hollow eye sockets stared back, and the cracks across the bone almost looked like they were whispering a story that had been long forgotten. Imagine being out in the open air, enjoying a normal day on the trail, only to stumble across something like this. One moment, it's just hiking and laughter, and the next, you're staring into the remains of what once was a living person. For a 9-year-old, it must have been both fascinating and terrifying all at once. A man was on his way to a quiet village for the night when he noticed a figure standing by the roadside. At first glance, it looked like an ordinary local, but the closer he drove, the stranger it felt. A chill ran down his spine, and instinct screamed at him to leave. Slamming his foot on the gas, he tore down the road, heart hammering, desperate to put as much distance between himself and that figure as possible. 4 friends huddled together for a quick selfie, laughing as the camera clicked. But later, when they scrolled back through the photos, their smiles quickly faded. Behind them stood a woman in a frilly dress, her long black hair cascading over her shoulders. Her face, however, was nothing but a strange blur, impossible to recognize. None of them remembered seeing her that night, and when they asked around, not a single guest admitted to knowing who she was. While fly fishing near an old cemetery in England, a man noticed something odd drifting in the river. A small, weathered doll. Curious, he reached out and pulled it from the water, snapping a few photos for a closer look. The moment he held it, An uneasy feeling crept over him. Finding a doll this close to a graveyard felt wrong, almost sinister. His mind immediately spiraled to curses, dark rituals, and black magic. One thing was certain, taking it home wasn't an option. In fact, even touching it might have been a mistake. While hiking, this person spotted something that sent chills rushing down their spine. From a distance, high on a remote hilltop, a massive figure appeared, towering over the landscape with impossibly long arms swinging by its sides. At first, it looked almost human, but the way it moved told a very different story. Confident, steady, and almost too calm for something that shouldn't even exist, the creature strode across the ridge like it owned the land. The hiker quickly pulled out their camera, their hands shaking, and managed to capture the unbelievable sight. And this wasn't just some blurry dot in the distance. The figure's sheer size, its heavy stride, and the strange way its limbs swayed looked nothing like a normal person, or even an animal. Many people who've seen this footage swear it could only be Sasquatch, the legendary Bigfoot that hunters, hikers, and explorers have been chasing for decades. Others argue it's just a person in a costume. But here's the thing. Look closely at how tall it is compared to the hilltop trees. Notice the way the arms nearly reach its knees? If it was someone in a suit, how could they possibly pull that off? One thing's for sure, the mystery of Bigfoot just got a whole lot scarier. Kids were playing in the woods while their dad filmed them, when suddenly, a black cryptid appeared. It didn't just walk, it leapt straight into the trees, moving like something out of a nightmare.
Come on, guys.
What's that, Dad?
Let's go back inside. Come on, guys.
But here's the chilling part. This happened in the Appalachian Mountains. These mountains stretch over 2,000 miles across 13 states, and some forests are so deep they go 100 miles without a single town. Many people have vanished here, never seen again. So the storyteller has to ask, was that creature just passing by? Or is it the reason some people never come back from the Appalachians? On New Year's Eve, 2022, deep in the Appalachian Mountains, a man stepped outside to take out the trash. Strange noises had been drifting in from the woods all night, but curiosity got the better of him. The second he set foot outside, the air was pierced by blood-chilling screams echoing through the trees.
Going here by myself. Weird stuff out here. I've been hearing weird stuff out here, so. Yep, there it is. Time to go. Time to go. Time to go. Time to go.
His nervous laugh quickly turned into panic as he blurted out, before rushing back inside. Alone in the depths of the Appalachian Mountains, a man awoke to a feeling he could never forget, like invisible eyes piercing through the darkness. It was 2 a.m. when his gaze slid toward the doorway and froze. There, in the faint glow of the shadows, stood a strange figure, unmoving, staring straight at him. Terror rooted him to the bed, but somehow his trembling hand found his phone, hitting record from where he lay. That's when the night turned truly horrifying. A low demonic whisper crawled through the silence, echoing across the room. So the question is, what exactly was watching him in the dark? This eerie trail cam footage comes straight out of the Appalachian Mountains, and what it captures is bone-chilling. Some believe it shows the rake, others call it a pale crawler, but one thing's certain, this figure doesn't look human. Even more unsettling, right before the clip ends, the creature seems to realize it's being watched, staring directly at the camera. To rule out any trickery, the footage was analyzed with Deepware's AI and CGI detection tools. The results? A clear green report, confirming no signs of deepfakes or digital tampering. What exactly did this camera capture lurking in the Appalachian woods? A lone hiker wanders off the main trail, thinking maybe there's a shortcut or just wanting to explore a bit. But then, something unusual catches their eye. A hole dug straight into the ground. It wasn't just a small dip in the dirt, no, this looked deliberate, like someone had been digging for days. Curious, the hiker decided to step inside. At first, it felt like a harmless adventure, almost like crawling into a secret fort. But the deeper they went, the darker it became. The tunnel stretched on, carved out with unsettling precision, and every step echoed like someone or something had walked there before. And then, at the very end of this long, narrow tunnel, the hiker froze. A cage, just sitting there in the darkness. Rusted bars, heavy chains, and a lock that looked far too strong for something so deep underground. Now here's where the real questions begin. Who dug this? Was it just some prankster, or maybe someone building a strange underground hideout? But then again, why the cage? A cage doesn't just appear by accident. Was it meant to keep something in, or to keep people out? Think about it. Cages are built for control. If someone went through the trouble of digging this tunnel, dragging down a cage, and locking it in place, then whatever it was meant to hold had to be important, or dangerous. Imagine being alone in a quiet cabin, miles away from anyone else. The night is still, the fire is crackling, and everything feels calm. Until a strange sound breaks the silence. That's exactly what happened to one man during his stay in the woods. At first, he thought it was just an animal moving around, maybe a deer or a raccoon. But curiosity got the better of him, and he decided to step outside and check. The deeper he walked into the forest, the louder the noise became, like wood splitting in half. Then he saw it.
Look, they're ruining this freaking place. What in God's name is it? It's bigger than me, whatever it is. Because it's breaking limbs off that it would take me 2 minutes to saw. Look, see, he's coming right above me right here. He's fixing to throw something at me, whatever it is. Yeah, they don't like you messing with them. Look. What in God's name? Look, that's bigger than me. Look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that. What in Jesus' name is doing this? Oh my God, he just took half the tree down. Something, oh my God, oh my God. Oh, it's gotta be I don't even think a bear would have a chance in Hades and they're doing this. It's something stronger than a bear. And he is pissed. Yeah, that's a healthy tree. About 8 to 10, maybe even 12 inches in diameter that he just broke because he's pissed because I'm getting close to him.
Trees, massive trees, weren't just falling. They were being ripped apart, torn right down the middle, as if something unbelievably strong was smashing through them. Whatever was out there wasn't moving slowly either. It was fast, darting between the shadows, too quick to fully see. He froze, his heart racing, staring into the darkness. The forest that once felt peaceful now felt alive, almost like it was hiding something that didn't want to be found. So, what could it have been? A natural disaster? Some kind of animal no one talks about? Or something much stranger that doesn't want to be discovered? It was just an ordinary afternoon when a man living near a graveyard started recording his surroundings. The sun was out, everything seemed calm, until it happened. Out of nowhere, a blood-curdling scream echoed from inside the cemetery. It wasn't a laugh, it wasn't an animal. It was something far more chilling. He froze, phone in hand, as the scream rang out again, louder this time, like it was coming from deep within the graves themselves. So here's the question. What do you think he captured? While passing through an old cemetery with her dog, everything seemed calm at first, just the crunch of leaves underfoot and the quiet breeze brushing against the gravestones. But suddenly, the dog froze. Its ears perked up, its body went stiff, and then it started pulling back on the leash like it had seen something terrible. Now, dogs don't act like that for no reason. They're known to sense things people can't, strange sounds, hidden movements, and maybe even things beyond our world. The girl looked around, but the cemetery was empty. Still, her dog wouldn't move forward. Instead, it kept staring at one shadowy corner, eyes wide and fur bristling. The air grew colder. Every step felt heavier, like someone or something was nearby. Watching. Was it a restless spirit wandering between the headstones? A shadow figure lurking in the dark? Or maybe something invisible that only her dog could see? One thing's for sure, the cemetery didn't feel so empty anymore. And if animals really do sense what we can't, then maybe the dog wasn't scared for nothing. A farmer in Buenos Aires recently uploaded a chilling video that left viewers stunned. In the clip, a shadowy figure can be seen gliding swiftly across his field, towering at what looks to be nearly 8 feet tall. It moved upright, taking long, deliberate strides through the grass, unlike any animal known in the region. The farmland was eerily empty, making its presence stand out even more. Some online speculate it could be the Yasi, a mysterious forest being whispered about in local folklore. Others say its massive build and strange gait make it resemble Bigfoot. Whatever it was, one thing is certain. The farmer had never seen anything like it before. When a homeowner steps outside for some fresh air, suddenly, frozen in place, just a few yards away, a child is standing there. Not laughing, not playing, not moving, just staring. But here's the unsettling part. This kid is wearing a mask. A blank, expressionless mask. The clothes look odd too, like they were picked out of an old attic or borrowed from another time. Torn shirt and leaves used as pants, the kind of outfit that feels wrong. The homeowner's curiosity takes over, so footsteps move closer. Questions are asked. Where are your parents? Do you live around here? But the kid? Silence. No words, no reaction. Just staring. At this point, the mind starts racing. Who could the owner of this child be? Is there even a parent nearby? Or could this be something else entirely? Something not even human, just wearing the shape of a kid to lure people in. It's the kind of moment that makes the hair on the back of the neck stand straight up. Because when someone or something refuses to answer, when it just watches, motionless, it's impossible not to wonder, is this a lost child? Or a warning? So what do you think? Was it really just some neighborhood kid pulling a prank? Or did the homeowner witness something far stranger? Out in the distance, while hiking through the mountains of India, something caught the eyes of many travelers. A trail so terrifying, it almost looked like a dare from nature itself. The path was carved into the steep side of a mountain, with steps so tiny that even the slightest slip could send someone tumbling into the abyss below. Each step felt less like a solid foothold and more like a test of courage. Picture this. The ground beneath the feet was barely wide enough to place a shoe. The wind howled, brushing against shoulders as if it wanted to push someone off balance. Looking down wasn't an option. The sheer drop stretched endlessly, making stomachs twist with fear. One wrong move, and the consequences could be severe. Many hikers say their hearts raced faster with every step, not from the climb, but from the thought of what could happen if they slipped. Some even admitted their knees were shaking so badly that it felt like the mountain itself was laughing at their fear. Others described it as walking on a knife's edge, where bravery and disaster live just inches apart. But here's the strangest part. Even though the trail is insanely dangerous, adventurers still line up to face it. Why? Because reaching the end gives a feeling that's almost magical. A mix of survival, pride, and the thrill of conquering something that looked impossible. A mysterious dark figure was recently spotted on Google Earth, just outside Montrose, Colorado. The coordinates, 38 degrees, 16 minutes, 24 seconds north, 108 degrees, 8 minutes, 32 seconds west, pinpoint the exact location where the shape emerged. And what's strange, the outline looks eerily similar to the classic image of a Sasquatch mid-stride. Even more compelling, the figure only appeared in a single satellite shot from 2019, then vanished in all others. That rules out a tree or rock formation. It was moving, and now things get even wilder. A newly released game cam photo has surfaced, and many are calling it the clearest Bigfoot image ever captured. The figure towers with massive shoulders, thick arms, and a barrel-like chest, features that rarely show up in past blurry sightings. The image is so sharp, it leaves people divided. Skeptics say it's too real, while believers insist it's the proof they've been waiting for. In July 2021, a couple set out on the Lover's Lane Trail in Olympic National Park, tracing the path along the Salt Duck River. The scenery was breathtaking, until something unusual caught their eyes. Far in the distance stood a dark, motionless figure. It didn't shift, didn't sway, didn't move at all. Thinking it was nothing more than a fallen tree, they continued on their way, but not before snapping a quick photo. Later, curiosity got the better of them, and they ran that photo through a Google image search. What does the AI tool suggest? Let's just say it might not have been a simple treetop after all. Paula Miranda Rosa, a 31-year-old woman from Florida, vanished under chillingly mysterious circumstances after a visit to Wekiwa Springs State Park near Orlando. Her car was found abandoned and unlocked in the park's lot, with her phone, wallet, and even her shoes still inside. It was as if she'd simply walked off into the wilderness and vanished. Then came a haunting clue. Hikers in the area captured video and photos of a woman swimming alone in the alligator-infested Wekiwa River. Paola's family confirmed it was her. But what puzzled everyone was why she would willingly enter such dangerous waters alone, something her loved ones insisted she would never do. Despite massive search efforts, Paula was never found. No signs of struggle, no definitive answers, just silence. Authorities have ruled out foul play, but her disappearance remains one of Florida's most unsettling unsolved cases. This guy was just waiting for his DoorDash delivery, nothing out of the ordinary, until he heard a knock at the door. But when he checked, there was no food, no delivery, just this.
Come on. Okay. It's not currently in there.
A shadowy figure was standing dead still by a tree in the distance, watching him. It didn't move. It didn't speak. It just stared. Frozen with fear, he quickly pulled out his phone to record it, then rushed to hide in the bathroom. Eventually, the figure vanished into the night. That's when he called a friend to come pick him up. Would you have opened the door? It was supposed to be a fun 4th of July camping trip. Just 5 close friends spending the night by a quiet, secluded lake. Being from Alaska, they were no strangers to the eerie stillness of the woods or the occasional unsettling sound in the dark. The night was filled with fireworks, laughter, and snapshots by the water. But everything changed when they looked back at one of the photos. A pale, shadowy figure lurked just behind them. The person who took the picture swore no one else was there. What's even more chilling? The lake has a sinister reputation. Hauntings, drownings, and people who vanished without a trace. So who or what was in that photo? And what happened by that lake? A group of young women was enjoying a carefree day by the waterfall, soaking in the sun and serenity. 2 of them waded into the water for a quick dip, laughing and splashing, completely unaware of the danger lurking above. Then, out of nowhere, disaster struck. A deafening rumble echoed through the canyon as a sudden rock slide tore down the cliffside. Massive boulders crashed into the water just feet away from them. It could have been a tragedy, but miraculously, not a single one was harmed. Soaked and shaken, they made it out alive, completely untouched by the chaos that nearly claimed them. While combing through footage from his trail cam, a Virginia hunter discovered something chilling and eerie, an almost translucent figure that resembles either a ghostly child or some unknown creature stalking the forest. Some skeptics chalk it up to moonlight playing tricks on the lens, but others? They're not so sure. Is this spine-tingling image actual proof of the paranormal? Or just a creepy coincidence captured at the perfect moment? It was the morning of May 9th, 2025. A group of friends hit the road, ready for what was supposed to be a fun, laid-back trip. But just a few miles in, they noticed something strange. A car was tailing them, closely. Trying to be courteous, the driver pulled over to let it pass. Big mistake.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Out of nowhere, the trailing car didn't pass. It pounced. A textbook ambush. Fast, aggressive, and terrifying. But this driver didn't panic. He reacted instantly, swerving out of the trap and saving everyone in the car. The entire incident was caught on a dash cam and handed over to the police. It provided investigators with a crucial lead, but as of July 10th, the suspects are still at large. It was a perfect sunny day by a dam in Brazil, laughter, splashing, and good vibes all around. But in an instant, everything changed.
Sai da água! Sai da água, sai da água! Vai, vai, vai! Sai da água! Todo mundo aqui, ó! Sai da água! Socorro! 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 Chega! Chega ligeiro! Chega! Chega!
Out of nowhere, the calm water twisted into chaos as a whirlpool suddenly formed and began racing toward the unsuspecting swimmers. Panic set in. People scrambled to get out. Miraculously, no one was injured. But the terror in that moment, real. The driver was cruising down a quiet road when he spotted what looked like a harmless shadow from a tree. Without a second thought, he kept going, only to realize too late that it wasn't a shadow at all. It was a massive crater. The car plunged in, crashing hard. The vehicle was wrecked, but miraculously, everyone walked away unscathed. Still, the shock, real. While trying to outrun a raging wildfire in Chile, a hiker caught something straight out of a disaster movie. A towering fire tornado ripping through the landscape. Unlike regular tornadoes formed by thunderstorms, fire tornadoes are spinning infernos of flame, smoke, ash, and debris. They form when extreme heat from the wildfire sends scorching air skyward, creating a vacuum that pulls in cooler air from below. If the wind and terrain align just right, the incoming air starts to spin rapidly. Some of these fiery monsters have clocked winds of over 140 miles per hour. Thankfully, the hiker made it out just in time, shaken, safe, and with jaw-dropping footage to prove it. That night, as they reviewed the pictures back at home, one friend's sister noticed something that made her blood run cold. In the background of their group photo was a shadowy figure wearing a hat, seemingly strolling right past them. The strange part? No one had seen anyone near them when the photo was taken. Terrified, she demanded they leave immediately. And when she showed the picture to the rest of the group, their excitement quickly turned to dread. From that night on, they made a pact. No more ghost tours. Was it just a random person they somehow didn't notice? Or did they unknowingly capture something far more chilling, something not meant to be seen? While hiking deep through a shadowy wooded trail near an old Massachusetts estate, this person stumbled upon something straight out of a nightmare. Standing silently among the trees were life-sized white statues, eerily human, cloaked in ghostly robes, and completely faceless. It looked like a haunting ritual frozen in time. But here's the twist. It turned out to be an outdoor art exhibit at the Mount, the historic home of author Edith Wharton. Still, for those first few chilling moments, it felt like they'd walked straight into a horror movie. Luckily, this time, the fear was all in their head. While walking their dog through a quiet, empty park, someone made a chilling discovery. Lying beneath a tree was a small, handmade doll, its fabric body sealed with what appeared to be melted candle wax. Strands of real human hair were stitched into its head, and gripped tightly in its stiff little hands was a torn piece of paper. On it, one word, Christopher, scrawled in frantic handwriting. It didn't feel like trash or a prank. The way it was placed, so deliberate, it felt like a curse. Like someone was targeting Christopher, and whatever this was, it had already begun. Josh and his grandparents lived a peaceful, secluded life deep in the Appalachian Mountains, until the neighbors started getting weird. They began trespassing without a word, crossing fences like they weren't even there, completely ignoring boundaries and warnings. The strange behavior escalated fast. Creaking footsteps at night, eerie figures lurking just beyond the tree line. Josh reported it all to the sheriff, but nothing changed. So, he set up hidden cameras, determined to uncover the truth. But the footage? It didn't bring answers, only more disturbing questions. What had gotten into these people? And worse, was it even still them? A Reddit user named Spawnkill stumbled upon something chilling outside their cabin. A bunch of throwing knives scattered across the front yard. No note, no explanation, just cold steel lying in the grass. Were they left as a warning, a sick prank, or something far more sinister? One thing's for sure, throwing knives don't just appear out of nowhere, and not like this. While visiting his aunt's home in Malaysia, a Reddit user stumbled upon an old photograph hidden high on a dusty shelf, one he barely noticed as a kid. He'd always assumed it was just a peaceful landscape from his late uncle's travels in southern China. But this time, something felt off. There, looming in the distance of the photo, was a dark, human-like figure. At first, he brushed it off, maybe a shadow, or just his eyes playing tricks on him. But after digging up other photos taken from the same spot, the figure was completely absent. No shadow, no shape, nothing. So now he's left wondering, what exactly did his uncle capture that day? A man had slipped into the raging sea near Rabat, Morocco, thrashing against waves that tossed him like a rag doll. Onlookers crowded the shore, desperately reaching out with belts and jackets, trying to save him from the unforgiving current. Then, without hesitation, one man dove in. He reached the drowning victim just as a massive wave crashed over them. For a terrifying moment, both disappeared beneath the churning foam. But then, against all odds, they surfaced. With help from the crowd, both men were pulled to safety, gasping for air. 1 second slower, one slip in timing, and this could have ended in tragedy. While exploring Hobson's Lake Trail in Halifax, a Redditor made a chilling discovery deep in the woods. An old abandoned wooden cabin, hidden beneath layers of overgrowth. But what truly sent shivers down their spine wasn't the structure itself, it was what was inside. Hanging eerily behind a dusty window was a headless doll, suspended from a rusty chain. No movement, no signs of anyone around, just silence, and that disturbing image. They snapped a quick photo and got out fast. Was it a twisted prank? Or something left behind with a darker story? Either way, it's the kind of thing that haunts your thoughts long after you've left the forest. This couple wasn't just out for a casual stroll. They took their adventure to the edge, literally. They hiked the infamous Oahu Ridge Trail in Hawaii, a path so steep and narrow that one wrong move could be your last. Tragically, that's exactly what happened to a 30-year-old traveler who slipped and plunged 250 feet to his death. He was hiking with 3 others, including a resident. And in a chilling coincidence, just days earlier, another tourist took a fall from the same ridge and suffered a serious head injury. Since 2011, at least 5 people have lost their lives on this treacherous trail. He had everything planned: sunny skies, a breathtaking spot, and even a hidden friend ready to capture the big moment. It was supposed to be perfect, but just as he dropped to one knee and pulled out the ring, disaster struck.
Oh, Jamie! Jamie, no! Oh my, no! Oh my God!
A sudden surge of water came out of nowhere, knocking him clean off his feet. In seconds, he and the ring vanished over the edge of the waterfall. Thankfully, he made it out unharmed. But the ring? Gone. Now they're left asking, was this just terrible luck or a sign from the universe not to go through with it? 2 women were tearing through the muddy woods, locked in an intense race, until disaster struck.
Katie, I got you! I got you! I'm coming!
Oh my God!
You're okay, you're okay! You're okay!
I'm okay. Get it up!
I'm trying, Katie. You don't have a tugger, it's hard.
It's okay, I'm sorry. I'm messing up your race. I can
It's
wake
okay,
you up.
Katie. It's okay, Katie. Can you move?
Holy!
Can you move, Katie? You're okay. You're okay.
Go!
Okay, get your bike, Katie. Just hold your bike for a sec. Okay.
Me, dude.
You're okay, you're okay.
Thank you.
No worries.
Katie had wiped out badly. Her bike had slammed down on top of her, trapping her in a pit of mud and pain. With quick thinking and even quicker hands, her friend yanked the bike off and helped Katie to her feet. If she had been alone, this could have ended in disaster. But she wasn't. That moment was a powerful reminder. When you fall hard, having someone right there to lift you can make all the difference. While hiking along an old railway trail, this person stumbled upon something truly unexpected.
Look what I found. Any ideas? Who might live in there? I think there's more. It's a little tunnel. This is cute.
A tiny wooden door tucked neatly into the base of a tree. At first glance, it looked like it might have been made for ants or some other small woodland creatures. But the more you look at it, the more you start to wonder, was it just a whimsical decoration? Or could there be something else, something mysterious, living behind that miniature door? While camping in his RV during a wild lightning storm, a man caught something truly bizarre on camera. As a bolt of lightning split the night sky, something strange seemed to fall from the heavens. To some, this was clear evidence. Storms, they say, help alien crafts recharge, and this sighting was their smoking gun. But skeptics weren't buying it. They claimed it was nothing more than a raindrop stuck to the window. Here's the twist, though. The object appears to be behind the clouds. So, what did he capture? A trick of the weather? Or something not of this world? While hiking deep in the woods late at night, this person came across something that sent chills down his spine. A cardboard sign nailed to a tree. It simply read, "Press shift to run." It wasn't a joke. It felt more like a warning, as if someone or something wanted him to know he might need to run fast. Whether it was part of a twisted prank or a glimpse into something far more sinister, he didn't wait around to find out. While hiking a well-marked trail deep in the misty forests of the Pacific Northwest, someone spotted something unsettling dangling from a tree branch. It was a handmade doll, tattered, weather-worn, and completely out of place. They didn't get too close. Just a quick photo, then a quiet retreat. When the image hit the internet, theories exploded. Some said it looked like a voodoo or corn husk doll. Others swore it was a warning, an effigy, a scare tactic, maybe even a backwoods no trespassing sign. Whatever it was, one thing's for sure, it did its job. A lone hiker wandering through the remote backwoods of Virginia veered off the main trail and discovered something chilling. A moss-covered stone corridor, ancient and eerily out of place, nestled deep beneath the towering trees. At the corridor's end stood a rusted iron gate, looming like a forgotten warning. He snapped a photo and posted it on Reddit, asking if anyone else felt unsettled. The responses poured in. Everyone agreed. It didn't look like a barrier meant to keep people out. It felt more like it was built to contain something. No one knows who built it. No one knows why it's there. But maybe you have a theory. He just wanted a peaceful night at the beach, waves crashing, moonlight dancing on the water. But when he pulled out his phone to record the ocean, he captured something he'll never forget. A chilling figure sitting alone by the shore. It wasn't human, and it wasn't an animal. To this day, he has no idea what he saw, but one thing's for sure, he'll never return to the beach at night again. Back in 2012, a student snapped a photo during a school trip to Vienna's Central Friedhof, the city's largest and eeriest cemetery. At first, nothing seemed out of the ordinary. The place looked deserted. However, later, while reviewing the pictures, one image stood out. In the middle of the path, a strange figure appeared, floating, human-like, and unmistakably out of place. Maybe it was just shadows playing tricks with the leaves, or maybe it wasn't. The silhouette was too defined to ignore. In 2023, a hiker ventured off-trail near the mysterious Blackwater River in Canaan Valley, West Virginia, a hotspot long rumored to be home to Bigfoot. Deep in the dense woods, he stumbled upon a hidden blueberry field, accessible only through a narrow game trail. As he stepped into the clearing, the ground suddenly shook beneath him with 3 thunderous stomps. No animals were in sight, but massive, unexplained footprints littered the soft earth. The hiker, both rattled and intrigued, now plans to return with plaster and gear to gather evidence of what or who might be lurking in those woods. While working a routine plumbing job in Graham, North Carolina, a contractor noticed something bizarre across the still waters of Graham Mabane Lake. A bronze statue of a man standing tall and silent. The figure wore what looked like an old conquistador's or sea captain's hat, clutching a sword and shield like a guardian from another time. But here's where it gets creepy. No one knows anything about it. There are no records, no plaques, nothing online, and every time someone tries to take a photo, the statue blurs. One image even mysteriously vanished from a phone entirely. Locals have no clue where it came from. The internet's no help either. The statue just stands there, watching, unexplained. This person was out hiking with their partner at Blue River in Kentucky. It was just a peaceful day, and at the end of the trail, they snapped a quick photo. But when they looked back at it, something was off. There's only supposed to be one person in the picture, the one on the right. So who or what is that on the left? The weirdest part? The 2 legs in the middle seem to share just 1 foot. Yeah, 1 foot between them. This could have been a camera glitch, sure, but something about it feels off. It looks way too real. Was it a doppelganger? Something paranormal? Either way, this person hasn't looked at hiking photos the same way since. As this person was casually walking by, they happened to glance up, and what they captured is nothing short of chilling. Perched silently on a nearby rooftop, almost blending into the shadows, was what appeared to be a reptilian creature. It didn't move. It didn't speak. It just stood there, watching. While the world below bustled with people going about their day, completely unaware, this mysterious figure kept its gaze fixed, observing everything in silence. On May 26, 2025, a man shared a chilling photo on X, claiming his tour guide had shown it to him during an off-the-grid adventure. In the image, one man walks casually toward the camera, while another snaps a flash photo, and that's when things get eerie. Just behind them, a towering humanoid figure with glowing eyes appears to be staring directly into the lens. Was it just a trick of the light? Pareidolia at play? Or did they accidentally capture Bigfoot lurking in the shadows? 3 years ago, someone was jolted by a blood-curdling scream outside their house. It pierced the night, echoing from the woods near a sharp drop that overlooked the highway, right across from an old cemetery. It sounded like a woman, terrified, desperate, crying out for help. Or at least, that's what they thought. Maybe it was just some wild animal, right? They called the police and even sent in a video of the sound, just in case. But no one ever followed up. No reports, no missing persons, nothing. And yet, that scream never returned. Not once in the years since. If it was wildlife, why did it only happen that one night? And why does it still send chills down their spine to this day? One night in May, beneath the glow of a full moon, a woman took a few casual photos of her backyard. Nothing fancy, just a quiet evening. Weeks later, while flipping through the pictures, one image stopped her cold. In the corner, barely noticeable, was a tiny figure with an orange head, something she hadn't seen that night. The other photos? Normal. Just this one was off. She'd only moved into the house last December, but the place always gave her the creeps after dark, like she was being watched. Now, with this strange little figure showing up out of nowhere, the unease had a face. Was it a ghost, a fairy, or something far more mysterious? While hiking with her friend, a woman finally reached the breathtaking waterfall they had been chasing all day. They pulled out a camera to capture the moment.
Take your breath away? Took your breath away, right? Did it take your breath away? Take your breath away? Took your breath away, right? Did it take your breath away?
The words echoed over the roar of the falls. But then, something strange happened. Without warning, her ponytail flipped forward sharply, as though an unseen hand had pushed it. There was no wind. Nothing else in the frame moved. It was as if an invisible presence had brushed past her. She didn't flinch. She just kept walking, completely unaware. Was it a trick of air pressure? Or something we're not meant to understand? Deep in the remote jungles of Arunachal Pradesh's Jaw district, a lone hiker faced a life or death choice. The only way forward? A narrow, crumbling bridge, half devoured by raging floodwaters. Below, the river snarled and roared, its current ready to claim anyone foolish enough to slip. Every plank groaned under his weight. Every step could have been his last. But with his heart pounding like a war drum, he pushed forward and somehow, against the odds, emerged on the other side, alive. While hiking through a quiet forest trail with a friend, someone stepped into a hidden clearing and instantly froze. Hanging from a tree was something so disturbing, so out of place, it sent a chill down their spine. No one could explain why it was there, and its eerie presence in such a remote spot only made it more haunting. They didn't dare get closer. Instead, they turned and walked away, hearts racing, completely unnerved by what they'd just seen. On July 7th, 2025, YouTuber Shadow Hollow decided to take on a solo night hike through a dense, remote forest. At first, it was just another adventure for his channel, but before long, the night took a chilling turn. the fuck? What the fuck? Fuck that. Then he froze. He saw something. From deep within the trees came strange, unrecognizable sounds, low, echoing, and wrong. Suddenly, two glowing eyes pierced the darkness ahead of them. Someone, or something, was watching him. The sounds grew louder, closer. Deciding not to take any chances, he turned to leave. But that's when he spotted it. Whatever it was, it broke into a sprint, charging straight toward him.
Shit, guys. Go.
Shadow Hollow didn't wait to get a better look. He ran, hard. Thankfully, he made it back to his car and sped away. But to this day, what or who was out there in that forest remains a mystery, one he'll never forget. One night, a farmer glanced out his window and spotted something unusual moving in the distance. Curious and uneasy, he reviewed the security footage, and what he saw sent a chill down his spine. A lone figure, draped in what looked like a long gown, was slowly gliding across his land. There was no flashlight, no source of light at all, and yet they navigated the pitch-black, uneven terrain with eerie ease, never stumbling, never hesitating. Who or what could move like that in total darkness? And more importantly, why were they there at all? A lone hiker wandering through the remote backwoods of Virginia veered off the main trail and discovered something chilling. A moss-covered stone corridor, ancient and eerily out of place, nestled deep beneath the towering trees. At the corridor's end stood a rusted iron gate, looming like a forgotten warning. He snapped a photo and posted it on Reddit, asking if anyone else felt unsettled. The responses poured in. Everyone agreed. It didn't look like a barrier meant to keep people out. It felt more like it was built to contain something. No one knows who built it. No one knows why it's there. But maybe you have a theory. During a family hike at Shades State Park in Indiana, a man, his son, and his grandson found themselves on a muddy trail. Hoping to avoid the muck, he stepped just off the path in search of firmer ground. But in an instant, his leg plunged knee-deep into thick, sucking mud. Each attempt to pull free only dragged him deeper. With no branches to grab and nothing solid to hold onto, he was forced to lunge forward, clawing at the ground for escape. The mud clung so fiercely that it nearly tore off his boots and pants. Fortunately, his family was right there to help, because without them, he might still be stuck in that unforgiving grip. While hiking, a man stumbled upon a scene that instantly sent chills down his spine.
Look. Bro. Like, what? Bro, this is crazy. This is crazy. Look at this. Bro, like, did somebody put something in the water? And it's all the way back out through there, bro. Look at all those fish. Look at all of these dead fish, bro. These are alive in this little spot, as y'all can see.
Before him, the water was littered with the bodies of dozens of fish, their silver scales reflecting the light in eerie stillness. From the water's edge and stretching far into the distance, lifeless forms floated, as if the entire pond had been poisoned overnight. Yet, in one small patch where fresh water trickled in, life still flickered, with minnows darting frantically, desperately clinging to survival. The rest of the pond, however, was eerily silent. No oil slick, no trash, no obvious signs of contamination. Just the unsettling. This man was exploring a haunted waterfall when he unknowingly captured something chilling on camera. For just a brief moment, a dark figure appears, then vanishes without a trace. Viewers noticed it looks eerily like a person standing near the falls. The first time the camera pans down, everything seems normal. But the second glance reveals the shadowy presence, and by the third, it's completely gone. So, was it just a trick of the light, or did he catch something paranormal lurking in the mist? On January, this woman set out to hike and camp deep in the Australian wilderness, but when night fell, everything changed. The wind roared through the trees, and she could swear something, or someone, was circling her tent.
I don't think I've slept one single minute the entire night. It's just so loud. There it is.
Every rustle, every snap of a twig made her heart race. Was it a wild animal, or something far more unsettling? By morning, she realized it might have just been her mind playing tricks on her. But that didn't change the fact that she hadn't slept a single minute. Exhausted, she pushed on with her hike, hoping her next campsite wouldn't feel quite so haunted by the unknown. Late one night, a man was driving through a dark, echoing tunnel when he witnessed something that defied all logic. Unable to believe what he saw, he quickly reviewed his dashcam footage, and there it was. A mysterious figure materialized out of nowhere, only to vanish as his car passed through it. Was it the lingering spirit of someone long gone, or just an eerie trick of the light? What do you think happened that night? While strolling through his quiet neighborhood, a man stumbled upon something so strange, he had to pull out his phone and record it. What he captured looked eerily like a tiny ape, but according to him, no such animals exist anywhere nearby. Baffled, he posted the footage online, hoping someone could identify it. Yet, every comment only deepened the mystery. So, what do you think it could be? In 1988, Swiss businessman Gregor Spory set off for Egypt in search of something that could change everything he thought he knew about history. He scoured the Red Sea's shores, crawled through the narrow chambers of the Great Pyramid of Giza, and even bribed guards for the rare chance to spend a night beside Khufu's sarcophagus. There, Spory met an elderly man, said to be the descendant of a long line of tomb raiders, who unveiled a relic that defied belief. A 58-centimeter-long, mummified human-like finger. Spory paid $300 just for the privilege of photographing it. While scientists brushed it off as a hoax, the whispers of ancient giants refused to fade. And neither did the mystery that haunted him. After a long night of relentless rain that carried into the morning, something strange appeared.
All right, so this morning, me and my dad found these boot prints along our asphalt driveway. And it was a little strange. We were a little freaked out because we live in the woods, middle of nowhere. Yeah. And these footprints, we did some tests, and my dad is 5'11", size 12 shoe. And the prints are bigger than his shoe size. And the strides were much too large for his height. And yeah, here are the prints. I don't know if you can see them very well. Kind of, it's not great. visibility. I'm trying to find one with good visibility that's kind of there. Walks along, goes away, and it disappears right over here. I don't know why. Let me find a better print. That's a pretty vivid one right there. You can see the outline right there. The point with a little blank space in the middle, which I'll explain in the text below.
They inspected the prints. His father, standing 5 feet 11 inches and wearing size 12 shoes, couldn't match them. These were much bigger, and the stride was too long for anyone his height. Whoever or whatever made them, he adds, had to be at least 6 feet 3 inches, maybe wearing a size 13 or 14 boot. He scans the path where the prints continue in a perfect line, until they just vanish. No scuffs, no drag marks, gone. One print stands out. It's unusually clear. A defined toe, a blank spot where the heel lifts. Not your average hiking boot, not even modern. They look like something from the past, curved toes, strange spacing, almost identical to centuries-old military boots. And considering there's a cluster of war-era graves just beyond the woods, it begs the question, what kind of boots leave a trail through the rain and then disappear without a trace?